Good evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiano. This is your short take. It is Wednesday. It is the 19th of July. And we're going to talk a little bit tonight about Donald Trump and his legal woes, because there's new stuff on the horizon. I'm sure you've already heard it. I waited because the first place I heard this was from Truth Social, and we know it should be called Lie Social, because anything he's running is based on lies mostly. But number one, the Georgia Supreme Court has ruled against Donald Trump. He attempted to stop the Georgia investigation and the Georgia grand jury. And he also attempted to have Fani Willis removed from that case. He lost on both counts. They voted against him. They ruled against him on both counts. Now, what we also do know is that Donald Trump received a letter from the Department of Justice stating that he was a target in the January 6th insurrection and in the attempted overturn of the 2020 election. In other words, the fake electors and all of that. Don't know the details of what was in that letter in terms of what laws may have been invoked. We don't know anything about what the charges will be. And I do believe he has been invited to the grand jury to give his side. If I were him, I wouldn't go, because he can't stop from lying, and lying to a grand jury would just complicate his legal problems. I'll be very surprised. Let's put it this way. I would be very surprised if Donald Trump showed up at the grand jury. Nevertheless, he's being given that opportunity. But while he is also not compelled to testify to the grand jury, his not testifying does not mean that he can't be charged. He most assuredly can be charged. So don't worry your pretty little heads about that. Jack Smith, I do not believe, is going to let him off the hook. But be that as it may, he did testify at Turning Point USA. Even in the midst of all of this going down, he spent 99 minutes in front of Turning Point USA, basically outlining how he intends to rule when he's reelected. And it is stunning, the stuff this guy is saying. And I don't know if you've heard the speech, but if you go to our YouTube channel and join our YouTube channel or watch the video, you will have all of these links in there, including his speech. I mean, essentially, Donald Trump is vowing to get rid of his enemies, purging the government of those that he does not deem loyal enough to him. If you are not sufficiently loyal to Donald Trump, you will not be allowed to serve in his government. He is creating, in his mind, a dictatorship. And if you do not think that if he is reelected, he won't do that, you haven't learned anything. After everything that you've seen since 2017, after you watch people storm the Capitol, he was all in on that. He was all in on that. Okay? He wanted the magnetometers taken down because he didn't care, because the people carrying guns weren't there to shoot him. He didn't give a shit who they were there to shoot, but he knew it wasn't going to be him, because he brought them there for that purpose. If you can't see right now what's going on in America, it is because you are willfully putting your head in the sand. And by the way, it is not just Donald Trump. It is all of his enablers, those people in the Senate who never push back on him, all of the MAGAs in the House, the entire House of Representatives are Donald Trump acolytes. They are essentially spending all of their time investigating Democrats. He is referring to the Democratic Party as his enemies. You know, the Republicans and the Democrats have always had clashes. They have always disagreed on certain policies, but they have never referred to each other the way Donald Trump refers to the two parties. essentially saying that there won't be any Democrats. He's going to rule with an iron fist. He is going to be a dictator. He is not kidding, folks, and this is not a drill. Allowing this man back into power is a disaster. And while we're on the subject of power, let me touch on the No Labels Party, because I hear people talking about this bullshit party, which is nothing more than a GOP super PAC, okay? It is out there to siphon votes away from Joe Biden, all right? Some of the people in the No Labels Party, Joe Lieberman, was he ever really a Democrat anyway? And now they're playing footsie with Joe Manchin. Ladies, let me just tell you something. Joe Manchin does not give a shit about your reproductive rights. The reason that Joe Manchin is flirting with the No Labels Party right now is because he's going to have, for once in a very long time, a Republican challenger for his Senate seat. And he has a good chance of losing that. This is why he's playing footsie. This is all about, for all of these people, all about the rise to power. Kirsten Sinema, she's another one. I have all kinds of articles about these people. This is all a power play, folks. None of this is about you or democracy. The No Labels Party is funded by people like Harlan Crow, the same people who have funded Clarence Thomas. By the way, Harlan Crow has donated to both Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. That's a matter of public record. It is a Republican Party super PAC, and the latest edition just happens to be a gentleman from North Carolina who wrote the anti-trans bathroom bill. These people, it's a shell game. They're there to steal votes from Biden. They're certainly not going to siphon votes off the Republican Party. They're there to present themselves as a No Labels Party. Will serve in a bipartisan manner. They're full of shit. Do not fall for this. This is exactly what happens when fascism is on the doorstep. They are not going to save you from that. You need to understand that. They haven't got a prayer of winning. There is no chance that they are even going to get on the ballot in every state. They haven't got a chance. What they do have a chance to do is steal votes from the Democrats. That's what their goal is. Now, that is also, likewise, what will happen with Cornel West. He hasn't got a prayer of winning, but he will steal votes. And he will ensure, both of these parties, by the way, No Labels and the People's Party, which is barely out of its infancy, they do not have a chance of winning the presidency. But what they do have a chance to do is be the spoiler. And they will steal votes from Joe Biden, and I will assure you that Donald Trump will be your president. And then we are finished. People need to understand this. And people need to get it in their heads now before it's too late. Because we have an election coming up in November of 2024, and it is absolutely critical that Joe Biden win. Because I'll tell you right now, whoever the No Labels Party foists upon you, they're not going to win. And neither is Cornel West. What they are spoilers. And who is helping Cornel West? Another spoiler, Jill Stein, who is a climber also. This isn't about People's Party, folks. This is a vanity project. And we can't afford a vanity project right now. I will be back again as soon as we hear something on indictments. Some people are saying it could be as early as Friday. We will be back and we will talk about it. And we're going to continue to talk about all of these bogus third-party people. I will talk to you all later.